My name is Rick, and I know a lot about games. Come watch my videos, and I'll teach you about games. Come on, this is totally original guides. Yeah, it's totally original guides. Totally original guides. Yeah, this is totally original guides. Yeah. Thanks for clicking on my video. I hope you enjoy, and I hope you learned something. Hello, everybody. Of course, my name is Rick. Welcome back to Totally Original Guides. And in this episode, we're going to be covering the final chapter of The Village. It's going to be a pretty interesting one, I'll tell you that. So the first thing that I'm going to tell you to do here is, or recommend that you do, is pick up anything in this house that you did get. So anything that's left over, make sure that you grab that. If there's any grenades up here, if there's any the shotgun ammo on the table, stuff like that. Next, we're going to exit this house. And I actually am not continuing from. I did save at the end of the chapter screen there, and I did pick up the game later. If you didn't, if you're just playing this, go back in the house and anything that the enemies dropped, you'll be able to pick that stuff up too. But of course, if you're reloading, you won't have that luxury. So I just picked up everything in this area. There's nothing else in the area, so there are two paths here. There's one on the left, then there's one on the right. We're going to take the path on the right. We're actually going to ignore the path on the left. The reason for that is just because it's kind of a waste of ammo. You don't really get much out of it, just some money. Of course, we do have to take one of these paths to continue, but the path that we're going to take is actually going to be quite simple and easy. So first and foremost, we're going to equip that TMP. Then we're going to go through the door. Now, one thing I did forget to mention that will be important a little later on, actually it'll be important later in this episode, is the amount of incendiary grenades you have. Now, I've got 3 here, and then I'm about to get a 4th one. That's kind of important. The more you have, the better. You're going to need at least 3 going into the final boss of this chapter, because that's what we're going to use them on. You're going to need at least 3. If you don't have 3 by the end, and I'll let you know when you're going to need those 3. If you don't have 3 by the end, then you're just going to have to use some of that ammunition that you have. And I'll explain a little bit more once we get there. But there's a 1 incendiary grenade in between here and the boss. So if you only have 2 and you're going to pick that last one up, then great. You're in a great position. If you only have 1 right now, then pick up this next one, and you're just going to have to use a little bit of ammo, but it'll be fine. So the way this is going to work is we're going to equip the TMP. And this is actually a fight with a second El Gigante. Now, there's 2 things to this fight. Number 1, there's chains on this door here. We're just going to go ahead and shoot those off. Now, it's not absolutely necessary, but we're just going to try to make this as easy as possible. Number 2, there's this boulder up here. Now, one thing that'll happen is if you walk too far forward, it'll trigger the fight. El Gigante will drop in, and then Ashley will tell you about this boulder, but she'll stay there and do this animation, and that gives El Gigante almost enough time to get up to her so that he could grab her. And we don't want that to happen. In fact, we don't want to fight El Gigante at all. We're just going to skip the fight entirely, but we still want to get all of the items in this area. So step number 1 is to shoot this boulder down. Now, as far as I can tell, I've done some testing on this, but as far as I can tell, I don't believe the boulder even does damage to El Gigante. I think it just stuns him. But for the purpose that we're going to use it for here, we're going to keep him occupied so that we can get through. So we're going to walk by this boulder, and it'll trigger the El Gigante. So now I'm going to skip that scene there, and we're immediately going to turn around and open this gate up. Now, skip this first shack and go to the second shack here to grab this old key, because that's all we're going to need. Then, we're going to head out here, and once we get to this gate, we're going to turn around, and we're going to shoot down this second boulder. Now, it is important that he doesn't break this second gate here. If he does break the gate, then you're going to have to reload. You're going to have to try it and do it a little bit faster. That's why we shot down that second boulder, was to give us an opportunity to get a little bit further ahead so that he didn't get to that gate and break it. So, now I know what you're thinking. We did get through, and now we're in this new area, but what was in that last area? You know, what does El Gigante give me? Why did we skip the fight? Well, El Gigante gives you 15,000 pesetas, which is not a lot by any stretch of the imagination. So we don't need any of the money, but it takes quite a bit of ammunition to take him down. However, there's still some items in that area that we want to get. So here's how we're going to do this. We're going to go back in here, and it's going to respawn the El Gigante at the first gate that he destroyed. So he's going to come forward, and while he's doing that, we're going to aim at that bucket, and we're going to shoot that bucket. So now, we're going to turn around and head back through this gate, and once he breaks it, he's going to do this smashing animation. And there you go. Now, once he does that, you just run by him. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to grab that thing that we shot from that bucket. That's the purple gem, and that'll go on the mask. Then we're going to go ahead and tap the square button to pick up all the stuff in this little pile here. Then we're going to tap the square button to pick up all the stuff in this little pile here. Of course, we don't have room for this incendiary grenade, so this is the one that I was talking about, by the way. So this is the only incendiary grenade between here and the boss of this chapter. So we're going to get rid of that handgun ammo, and now we're just going to run back to the door, and we're going to just go through the door again. Okay, so now we've successfully avoided El Gigante twice, and we've collected everything in that area. We collected that incendiary grenade, we collected the TMP ammunition, and all of the money out of those sheds. And one thing to note is that it doesn't actually, when he destroys the sheds, it doesn't actually get rid of any of the items. All of the items that were in those sheds will just drop as normal items, so you don't have to worry about missing out on anything. I'm going to reload my gun there. And then we got this purple gem, which we're going to combine with the mask. Now, at this point, if you really do want to go through this other side path here, by all means, now's a perfect opportunity to. Before you do, I recommend saving. You're going to have to fight two chainsaw people called the Bea sisters, or Bella, depends on whether or not you want to pronounce it with the correct pronunciation. But we're not going to do that, because you get a ruby, which you could sell for 10,000, I believe, and then you're gonna get the red gem for the mask, and that, once you put it in there, I believe makes the mask sell for either 20 or 25,000. I don't remember exactly, but the amount of ammunition, though, that you're going to waste, because there are a lot of enemies on that other side. I mean, we're talking maybe 7 before you get to the Bea sisters, and then there's going to be another, like, 5 or so along with the Bea sisters. Then you're going to have to kill them as well. And then, once you get past the Bea sisters, before you can actually leave the area, there's going to be another maybe 10 enemies that you're going to have to kill. That's a lot of enemies, a lot of ammunition. Whereas the way that we're doing it here, we're not using any ammunition at all. But anyways, I digress. So now, we're going to go back through this area with the El Gigante. Now, when we go through the door, he's going to respawn in front of the first gate that he destroyed. So we're going to open the door. Now, what you want to do is just run at him. Now, once watch what happens here. he goes to grab me, but he turns around when he does it, which gives me the perfect opportunity to run by him. Now, I want you to sort of study that clip before you do it, and just sort of see how I did that. But trust me, it is super, super simple. Literally, all you have to do is run at him, and then just keep running towards him. And then once you see him do the turnaround, just stop. If you keep running, you'll start to move around him, and you'll actually run into that hitbox, and he'll grab you. But here's an example. I'll show you just one more time here what it looks like, what this is going to look like. You're just going to run towards him, and then watch him do the turnaround. There he goes, and then there you go. So it's easy as pie. It's pretty simple. You can exploit this pretty easily. He does it without fail every single time. It really is absolutely ridiculous, but that's just the way his AI works. Okay, so now we're going to head up to this merchant here, knife this barrel. I believe it just has handgun ammo in it. Yep. So we don't need that. Alrighty, so then we're going to sell these spinels that we found, and because we are not going back to the other path to fight the Baya sisters, we're actually not going to get the red gem. So if you want to, you could sell this right now if you need the money. I'm actually going to hold on to it, just because there will be another mask later, and then there will be another set of 3 gems. And for some reason, just the way that I play this game, I wait until I get the next red gem, and then I sell the mask, and then I get another mask and another 2 gems for it. You'll never, unless you go get that red gem from the other path, you'll never have 2 complete masks by the end of the game. You'll only have 1 complete mask, and then a mask with just a green and a purple in it. But anyways, we're going to pick up that note there, and then we're going to go ahead and grab this rifle ammo. Oh, looks like I don't have the space for it. If you do have the space for that, go ahead and grab that rifle ammo. What I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to... I believe that rifle ammo won't despawn if I leave the area, as long as I don't quit and reload. Just in case here, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to retry from the checkpoint. Now, this is a good example of how powerful this tool is, because it just immediately reloaded me before I even did anything here. So, see if I break this barrel again. Look, this time it had shotgun shells in it, so... reloading the checkpoint doesn't add to your death counter or anything like that. It's just something that if you're trying to, let's say you're trying to do that El Gigante fight, and you mess it up, and you don't die, you can just reload from the checkpoint there. So, but just to make sure that this ammo, that rifle ammo in there, is not going to despawn, I'm just not going to open that. Because I do want the rifle ammo. It's quite a bit of rifle ammo, and I do want that rifle ammo. So if you have the inventory space for it, go ahead and pick it up now, and then hold on to it, don't sell it. But if you don't have the inventory space like myself, then we will come back for that rifle ammo. So, before we get on the gondola here, I'm going to break this open. That doesn't have, or that just had money in it. And then we're going to get on the gondola. Now, the way that this works, the way that this gondola works, is there will be enemies, 2 enemies on the side, like that. And then there's going to be enemies on the actual, sort of, tram, parts. Now, the reason that this part is so easy is because all of them will immediately fall and die just with 1 shot. So literally all you have to do is just make sure that you're on aim and you're shooting them while they're coming up. It is not difficult at all. You don't really need to be super accurate, or you don't need to put a lot of shots into each person. You just have to put one shot into each guy and they'll immediately fall over. And that's it. Check my ammo here. And just wait to get out this tram. Alright, there we go. So now, we can head towards the boss. Of course, Ashley won't jump around that. So there's a grenade that I don't have ammo or room for, I believe. Yep. And there's some handgun ammo that I don't have room for, but I don't need the handgun ammo. So, I will come back for that grenade as well. So we're going to tell Ashley to wait here, and then we're going to go forward. Now, right around this corner, there will be an axe guy and... Oh, I can hear him. And a dynamite guy. We're going to try to dodge the axe or shoot the axe, and then we're going to shoot the dynamite out of the air. Like that. So I did try to shoot the axe there, but wasn't a big deal. It missed me anyways. There's also a gentleman at the top of this ladder. He has a pretty high chance of ploggating, so watch out for that. Hopefully he doesn't for you, but... that, kick him, and then we're just going to knife him while he's down. Alright, cool. So, in this chest, we will find the yellow cat's eye. Now, the yellow cat's eye is actually the last gem that we need for the beer stein. So we're just going to go ahead and open up the key treasures here, combine that, so now we've got a complete beer stein. Now it's worth 20,000 instead of that 15,000 that it was worth before we got the yellow cat's eye. We're going to jump down here and go back to Ashley. Tell her to follow me. And then head down here to a merchant at the same point. Now, you could definitely save here before the boss. There's some ammo. It looks like I don't have room for... I don't have room for that shotgun ammo. I will again. I will come back for it. This would be a great opportunity to sell the beer stein. Oh, there it is. So that's the most you can sell that for, is that 20,000. And then we're going to move right on into this boss fight. Now, head down this pathway here, but when you reach the end of the pathway, make sure that you equip the incendiary grenades, because those will be really important. Now, here's the way this is going to work. It's going to initiate a cutscene when you walk forward enough, and Leon is gonna open the door, and then Menendez is gonna jump him and stuff. All you need to know is that there's a QuickTime event. That QuickTime event, I believe, can be both square and X, or X and A if you're playing on Xbox. Or it could be L2 and R2, or both of the triggers. I believe it could be either or, just like the boulder, just like most of the QuickTime events, actually. But I'm going to skip the cutscene, but it'll skip it right up to where that QuickTime event is, just like it has before. So, and then the fight will start immediately after that. So I'm going to skip that, and then here's the QuickTime event. What's it going to be, Menendez? Alrighty, there we go. So then you shoot the barrel, and here we go. So the way this fight works is you want to throw an incendiary grenade at him. That'll hurt him. And then throw another incendiary grenade at him. That'll make him split in half. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to back up, and we're going to equip our TMP, and we're going to have him move forward, and then we're going to shoot that, and run past him and grab this other incendiary grenade here. And now... oh, I didn't even see that coming. Now, It's just a matter of hitting him with the other incendiary grenades. I'm not sure what his problem is. I'm not sure what he was doing there. That was unexpected, but that's the way these things work. So since I was in the red, I was going to go ahead and use that. So now hit him with the incendiary grenade there. And hit him with the last incendiary grenade, and that should do it. Alrighty. So, like I was saying, that's why you need the 3 incendiary grenades going in there, is because you're going to need... did I pick up that extra incendiary grenade? Oh, I did. Huh. How many did I have going in? You should only need 4. So that's what I was talking about, is 3 going in, and then there's... Oh, I wasted one. I missed him. That's what it was. So yeah, that's what I was saying. Since you picked up the 3 incendiary grenades, or you have the 3 incendiary grenades before you go into the fight, then you can pick up that last one. That's the 4 that you needed. Luckily, I had an extra incendiary grenade. But that's what I was sort of talking about, is that what you're gonna need to do basically for that fight is just whoops. Oh, there we go. Is just shoot him if you don't have enough incendiary grenades. Make sure that you're taking use of that barrel. But yeah, just go into him. If you don't have enough, it's not a big deal. He should be, if you've got if you've got at least 3 incendiary grenades. And if you didn't have any going into that, going into this video, and you only had the ability, let's put this, whoops, you only had the ability to pick up the 2, that's fine as well. You'll just need to do, of course, even more damage to him, but it shouldn't be too big of a deal. That dropped a spinel, almost forgot to pick that up. Alright, so now we got everything in this room that we need. We obviously don't need the handgun ammo. We're going to jump out the window here. Or I guess the side of the building. And we're going to head back. Now I can pick up that shotgun ammo that I left behind. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. And let me reload that. That merchant is there, of course, if you need to do anything. And we're going to head back up to the gondola. Oh, and then there's also that flash grenade over here. Now that I'm thinking about it, I can just go ahead and discard that. What I may do, since I've got so many flash grenades, what I may do is instead of holding on to that flash grenade, I may pick up the rifle ammo that we left back there. I don't know. We will see. I'll have to take a look at my inventory when we get over there. But just because I have so many flash grenades, and I kind of need the rifle ammo, or the rifle ammo is a little bit more important, because starting at the next chapter, we will get a rifle, so... Okay, so what I decided to do here is actually get rid of one of my herbs, because I have so many healing items. I actually have more healing items than I do have flash grenades. And of course healing items are a little bit more important than flash grenades, but I just have so many that it's not that big of a deal. So I'm gonna pick up that rifle ammo there, and then we're gonna head through here and go to this door. So this is gonna be the last stretch here, and we don't really need to do much, but there will be plenty of enemies and a truck past this door here. And so, we're just going to skip the enemies because they don't really give us anything at all. But the truck, what you're going to do is you're going to try to aim for the driver here. And if you can't hit the driver, just shoot the front of the truck. So, we want to do enough damage to make it explode. Okay, so did that, and then there it went. So now it's just going to do that. And now when you run by, oh no, it spawned a bunch of guys, but it doesn't matter. We're just going to keep running forward because we don't need to take any of those guys out. There are also 2 barrels back there. One of them has a blue velvet. The other one has money in it, but it's not important because we don't need that. So skip this cutscene, and that is the end of the chapter. Make sure that you have a good one. My name is Rick, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.